Ladies and gentlemen, what is up? It is Friday, and it's a special Friday. It is a special edition of 8-Bits as we have the Friday before E3 upon us, which means there's a lot of shit to talk about, dude. A lot of potential shit to talk about. Guys, what's up? I'm djWHEAT, joined as always by itmeJP. Wasn't here last week and got to tune in for a little bit. Jeff, well, we had two Jeffs, right?
God, that was fucking weird.
How was it? What, you mean two Jeffs or what?
Yeah, the worst part about the show is the fact that there was two Jeffs on it.
Yeah. Jeff?
What? I started referring to Jeff Green as Green, and then I would just call and control. That was pretty good.
That's how I would have probably handled it too.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Both of them had played a lot of Wolfenstein, which I was actually surprised at. I didn't expect Green to play that at all for some reason. He was enjoying it a lot. I think we all pretty much enjoyed it.
A lot of people. I mean, it was sort of, it just had so much hype because people were like, "Oh, this is good," and then like, "Oh, I'll check it out," and then like it just barreled at that point.
It was good. It definitely was a good game. And yeah, I enjoyed last week's episode. I was player 1. It was quite nice. I also, God, talk about like, again, last week I was on like 4 hours of sleep, much like I am every week.
Sure.
And so like we get in and like we're having a nice banter and like, all right, guys, I'm going to kick it live. Here we go. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go live. And then I switch to the scene. I'm just like, I didn't put their cameras in. Fucking XSplit. And so I'm just like, well, let's just intro them, and as I intro them, I'll just like bleep them in real quick.
In there.
Yeah, so then like in the first 2 minutes, you see me like moving their cameras around and shit and XSplitting it and all situated. But apart from that, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
Awesome.
Jeff. I think that was the first time they had ever met as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I think maybe I'm wrong about that, but Jeff in Control had some good jokes about how Nintendo was going to make a new game called We Stay Alive for the older folks, which was the joke of the day, in my opinion. It was very funny.
Yeah. I wonder. And who knows what they are going to actually do.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. We'll see. The other thing, too, did you know that this is actually, I think, the 1-year anniversary of 8-Bits?
Really?
Because we started well, it might be next week. We started last year,
no way.
The week after E3 for a post-E3 show. That was the first show we ever did.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow. That's kind of crazy.
I thought about that. For some reason, my brain clicked that when I woke up this morning. It was also why the fuck am I awake.
I'm going to Oh, God.
We've done 35 shows, though, in 52 weeks, which is pretty good.
That's not too bad, considering. I mean, we're beating Dark Heresy, so...
Oh, yeah.
We're in good shape. That is kind of crazy. I was looking through the archives to see if I could.
I didn't realize it had been a year as well. We might be 1 week early. It might be next week.
Well, either way.
Either way.
Let's see. 1/9, January 3rd. Oh my gosh. 1/5. Where even is this? Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're right.
Oh yeah, I could just look on my. Sorry, I can look at my.
On your YouTube. There you go. Thanks for. There. Oh yeah. The black and white 8-bits. Oh, it looks so great.
Oh,
there
yeah,
it is.
right.
The pilot was June 7th. So
holy shit! Almost to the day. Almost to the day.
Dude, you know what, JP? I have to say, like a little golf clap, because a lot of people, you know, and you've been doing role play long enough, and State of the Game and all that stuff, but like a lot of people don't know that it's hard to keep a show going for a year. Like that's a big accomplishment in this day and age.
The funny thing about that too is this is like the easiest show when it comes to that. I don't know why.
Play games, do it. Yeah.
It's not a hard show to set up for.
You can't run out of shit unless you just stop caring or playing video games. That's the great thing about it. So
yeah. And we have no shortage of, I think a Deep Down trailer was just released right now, and I'm sure they're going to be rolling out this
Which
this
one
morning.
Is Deep Down? Yeah, I've already watched like 5 this morning.
That's the Capcom Dark Souls / Monster Hunter game.
The one, yeah, okay.
which is kind of weird. Like, I don't know what you want to do show format wise, but it's weird how like all of this stuff is getting announced prior to the actual show. Like,
It is a little weird.
so many trailers that have been announced of like gigantic games.
Do you want to do what we've been playing?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
My list is pretty short, but also complicated at the same time.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't even know if you've had time to breathe.
I can, some of this stuff, like, I'll just let me just like shoot off a couple of like mobile things really quick. So Dragon Quest VIII released on iOS, right? And Dragon Quest VIII was really the first 3D Dragon Quest for the PlayStation 2. And it was a fantastic.
That's the one with the bandana.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an awesome game.
It was a fantastic game, and it got released on iOS. So it's quite great. I mean, it has everything pretty much that you had in the PS2 game, except for one thing that set the game apart from a lot of other games at the time, is all the voice acting. Just doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist?
Not there.
I wonder if it was too big for the mobile version.
It's 1.7 gigs just to download, which
That's
to
probably
many...
about what it was. There's no way. How many discs was it on PS2? Was it? It had to be more than one disc.
I think it was just one. I could be wrong.
It's been forever. I mean, I played that game at launch, but
yeah,
I think it was just one disc.
I think it was just one.
They could have put. I wonder why they don't have that in there.
I imagine, what if this would have made it a 3 gig game? That's a little bit tougher for tablet and phone owners to actually, because it does work on iPhone as well. But at the same time, it just seems to be something like that. That's such a huge part of that game.
Yeah, there's 2 discs. One of them was the Final Fantasy 12 demo.
Oh, okay.
So it fit on one disc.
Yep. So, I mean, obviously they're not going to release like a 9 gig game for tablet. They're not quite there yet. But yeah. I mean, it's not like we're listening on, on home theaters. They could probably compress.
Plus, I mean, the biggest that a CD could support 800 MB back then. That was like the max. So they could. Where the fuck are the audio files?
No, PS2 is DVD.
PS2 is DVD, was it?
Like 9 gig on a dual layer.
Yeah, but they didn't even dual layer PS2 discs didn't even exist, did they?
By the time Dragon Quest VIII got released, yeah, I think so.
Maybe so.
Yeah,
maybe so.
Well, okay. Escapee saying he thinks it wasn't dual. So whatever. Let's say 4 gigs.
Sure.
1.3 is what they ship it as, and I have to believe they could have
that's like a big thing in that. Does it still have all the original audio and everything in terms of
except for the VO?
That's weird.
Yeah, it's just not there.
I don't think there was that much VO.
There was a lot more than you might.
Yeah, it's been forever since I've played.
It's not like everything was VO'd. It's not like it wasn't that amazing of an accomplishment, but it gave the characters more personality, and that was a big part of what that game was. So if you've never played it, you probably won't even realize it. It's a good game. Amazing that they were able to put it on tablet. Everything else works good. It's just the only thing with it. So. The only other mobile one that I want to mention really quick is this game called Battleheart Legacy. And Battleheart was this game that was created for the iOS a while ago. It was probably came out on
looks like Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah, that's what like the first game was, pretty much. Is the first game was sort of, you went into these missions with 3 different characters, and you move them around, and you'll kind of get an idea, because I can explain it more if we actually look at the pictures here. But so you move the characters around, you fought different guys. What they did is they turned it into like a giant role-playing game. And so instead of it being sort of, you go in and you just do these individual missions and you come out, you actually level up. You can create classes from every single class and every single, every spell and ability in the game, which makes it a lot of fun. Because, I'm always like, well, can you we look at Dark Souls 2, and Dark Souls 2 is so great because you really can play whatever you want, your style of gameplay. It's exactly the same way, but it's a really simple system. You just move around the map. That you get quests. It's $5, and I've actually put like 14 hours into it already.
Jesus.
So
you and those mobile games, man.
Well, I have, you know, I mean,
you've been traveling a lot, but
so right. But like I've been picking it up, and I'll play it for 15 minutes, and I'll, you know, maybe level or go do a dungeon. And then I'll come back out and whatever. There's not a big hook, JP, that's like, you know, Final Fantasy 13 50-minute cutscene, right? That's not happening. So it is made for sort of bite-sized consumption, and they did a good job. The original game was actually the same art style, but it was drawn. So it's very much better in a isometric sort of 3D format. But they did a good job with that.
What's the price on Dragon Quest and then also on this?
Oh, Dragon Quest.
Did they charge like 10 for Dragon?
No, I want to say it was 20.
Holy shit.
Holy shit, $20. Who would pay such
$20?
Let me see. I think it's 20. Dragon Quest 8 iOS. Boom. The moment of truth. Da, 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 da. It is on Android as well.
Okay.
And it costs, come on, Apple Store. I don't know. The Apple Store's not loading. I'll tell you in a second.
Sure. What about the other one? Free to play?
What? Battleheart? No, $5.
Yeah.
It's $5. And yes, $19.99 for Dragon Quest 8 Journey of the Cursed King.
Fucking Japanese mobile developers, man. They don't give a fuck about the price of the games. They'll go full fucking $20, man. They don't give a shit.
They will. They will, especially those RPGs. I mean, but there's like 60 hours of content in that game. Easy. So
yeah, it's a pretty, and it's got a lot of side stuff too.
Yeah. So really, JP, I have to just include this on mobile. But you know what happens when you don't have a PC to play games on? You pick up Hearthstone on the iPad again.
Yeah.
And it's just, God, they made such a good game, but I still have the same issues. I like rage about it. Like there's such bullshit.
Jeff is like playing that.
Like
that's all he plays.
Really?
Sure.
I could see that. You know, I'm so angry. I wish I had a fuck you emote. Like
that's what he was saying too.
I feel like the game isn't complete until I can go fuck yourself or so, you know. It makes me so angry, and saying thanks and sorry isn't enough. It isn't enough, JP. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we go in, because I gotta tell one story. This is like an almost now you're not playing anymore story. So are you a PlayStation Plus subscriber?
Not currently, but I have been before.
Okay.
I just haven't bought a New Year thing for it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, guys.
So, you know, I've been PlayStation Plus now for a couple years. I've got like a massive library of games and all this shit, and a while ago, you know, the bank sent me a new card, and apparently I never updated my payment options on PlayStation.
Sure.
So I got an email that was like, "Hey, your PlayStation Plus has expired. We hope you'll join us again, and you know, you can start downloading great games again." So I kind of shit my pants, JP, because from everything that I have read, it was my understanding that if you let your PS Plus expire, that you lost access to everything.
Right.
So
I thought that was true.
Right. So I'm like, oh my fucking God, dude, like 2 years of shit.
Yeah, but you just get it back right away when you resubscribe.
I didn't know that. I thought I actually lost. I thought
that would be a dumb fucking system. There'd be uproar.
I know, but I don't know what I was thinking. But I was like, oh my God, like 2 years worth of downloads I'm not gonna have access to again. Of course, when I reactivated and saw that I was just an idiot crying over spilled milk, I realized I was just an idiot crying over spilled milk. But it was a scary moment. And I was like a little upset that all I got was one email after the fact. It wasn't like, hey, 30 days, you know, or 10 days. It was like, fuck you.
Microsoft is good about that in that regard. I hate getting those emails from them about your sub will end in 30 days and we will automatically. I think it's probably because they automatically charge you. That's why they send the Sony won't,
Right.
I don't think.
Right. Yeah. First world
Microsoft would
problems.
be like, boom, $60. The number of times that happened on my mom's credit card back in the day, like when I first had a 360, or I guess, did they do that back in the original Xbox days? They might have.
What? I don't know how that.
Did
No.
Halo 2 came out on the original Xbox,
Yeah,
right?
but I don't. Xbox Live wasn't actually a thing until. I mean,
Of course
like,
it was for Halo
no,
2.
no. Like Xbox Live paying wasn't a thing until 360.
No. I had a year sub back in the day for the original Xbox. I'm pretty sure. Because my original Xbox account is still my Xbox account to this day is in my mom's name. It just has my email on it, and I can't change the name on it no matter what I do. So when I get an email, it says like, "Hello, Sandra, your Xbox account is going to automatically charge you for a year."
Dude, it launched in 2001. There's no way they were charging people money when it first came out.
Chat's on my side, man.
When did that that didn't happen? Okay, it came out in 2003. Why does it say?
Life
Why
came
does
out
the
in
wiki say 2001?
I don't know. Maybe that was
Oh, you guys are right, and I was wrong.
I don't know. I don't know. That was the blade shit, so that's why I remember that. Because the blades were so gross. No, blades were actually
Blades were
60.
360.
What did they have? Oh, it was like you never even really saw live. Live didn't like exist in terms of like having a dashboard. Then
Right.
you just loaded into Halo. That's right. I remember now.
Anyway.
But yeah.
So what do you wanna chat about?
Well, I'll just kind of go through everything else, and then we'll jump into Wildstar a little bit later. But played some more Dark Souls last night. I think I'm in the second, if not final area of that. The areas keep one-upping themselves every single time. I think there's still like probably 15, maybe even more than that, bosses that I haven't seen yet, just because like they're all optional and stuff like that. That game's fantastic though. Still awesome. Still loving every second of it. And then they just announced DLC for it, which is crazy. 3 DLCs. I think it's one per week, is what I remember.
Yeah, that's
Crown Saga or something like that. Kind of crazy looking. Super excited to see what that looks like, and still enjoying the shit out of Dark Souls. I'll put those. I think I played for 4 hours last night, so I could put some content up on YouTube. But those will start rolling out today if you are watching that series.
So it's episode. They're all 3 connected episodes. It's not just like 3. Okay,
it's called The
very
Lost
cool.
Crowns. Yeah, that's the DLC.
Dude, I wonder how much game time that will actually be.
I don't know. The areas that they showed in that look fantastic. A lot of them look like almost Mines of Moria. One of them did at least. I hope there's at least 10 bosses in that. It's also kind of weird that they announced that, and then like when Dark Souls 2 came out, they said that there would be no DLC for it, and like a very strong comment saying there will be.
Then they went back and they were like, well, depending on fan reaction. My guess is that the moment Dark Souls 2 blew up, they were like, okay, let's do that. Let's do that stuff.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Like those games are great. So each episode's going to cost $10. If they're charging $10 for each of those, I got to imagine
you get the season pass for 24.
Yeah, the season pass for 25.
25.
I got to imagine there's at least 10 bosses in each of those for $10. Maybe that's a little bit too high. I don't know.
I'd be okay with that.
Game's still fantastic. I'm using my Demon Great Hammer, just like two-shotting everything that I come up against, fighting all the bosses. I haven't played my mage in a while. I got to a point where like the bosses started to become difficult. Like 15 bosses in, I was like, man, I've already done all this shit. I don't want to do it again.
I understand. I keep going.
So I've been playing a lot of that. Been playing CS:GO a lot, but I think I'm gonna start like that. That's been like my go-to game when Wildstar is down, or when I've been like playing Wildstar for like 6 or 7 hours straight, and like
you just need to shoot some stuff.
I just need something. I got up to Master Guardian 3, which is like the crossed AKs, which is kind of a good rank. Like it's 5 from the highest for someone that like doesn't play CS:GO all that much, I was pretty impressed with myself. And then I started D-ranking, and I'm down
Why?
to
Why?
Master Guardian 1. I think it hit that point like I peaked. It was like the
Oh,
span of an FPS career, but in like a 3 or 4 day period.
okay.
Like I peaked. I was playing with Scoots last night, so maybe I've reached like the pinnacle of my CS potential. I also started watching Shroud. I think he's a pro player. I don't know what team he plays for, but he's a Twitch streamer. Like God, I fucking suck, and everyone that I play with sucks at CS compared to the pros. Man, it's ridiculous. Just watching them like aim and jump. It's like, what the fuck are we doing? We're all so
It
fucking.
is pretty sick, dude. There are some really good streamers on Twitch for sure.
Yeah, and then I've been watching Fatality also play. He's been streaming a lot of CS:GO lately. Uh, he's also the same rank as me, so I'm very proud about that. But when watching a stream and comparing it to mine, I'm just like, well, he'll be a much higher ranked very soon. He still plays it like a DM game though. Like he'll have the bomb and like his team will like smoke double doors at B on dust or something, and he'll run out through the smoke and like kill 3 people and then come back in and plant it. It's like, John, come on, man, you just got to plant the bomb, and then you can go outside and do that. But what else? Is there anything else
That's awesome.
that I've been playing before Wildstar? Wildstar started like last Friday, and it feels like I've been playing that game for a year. Uh, I don't know. What about for you? I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
Yeah, let me see if I have anything else. I mean, like just real quickly, didn't get too much hands on, and I had played it before, but I really did enjoy like about the hour and a half I got to screw around with Mario Kart 8.
Oh yeah, I impulse bought that last night.
Yeah, I mean, it's really solid. My kid is showing interest in it, so of course he wants to pick it up. But they retain everything that's good about the old ones, and they add, the blue tracks and then some other weapons and stuff. We also did some battle mode, which is always one of my favorite things from
I heard
Mario
it was
Kart.
trash on this one.
It's kind of trash.
Yeah.
Definitely the racing and the online stuff is sort of the focus of this title for sure. But I really enjoyed it. I'm going to play it some more with miniWheat, see what's up. And then the other game, like, do you remember Ouya debuted with this game Towerfall?
Oh yeah, of course.
And everyone was like, "Yo, this is actually the reason you should own an Ouya." And
that was their selling.
It was their
point.
selling. It was their selling point. Well, the game's available on Steam and PS4 now, so you don't have to worry about that. But we played it on PS4. Dude, this game is fun as shit, JP. It's like it's
pretty
just,
good.
It's such a great
there's a
4-player
whole-
party game.
There's a huge slew of like local co-op games like that are all fantastic. Like Towerfall Ascension's really good.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I like fuck the game. I'm talking about just the multiplayer.
Oh, just yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay. Oh yeah. It's
fantastic.
so good. It's so good.
You should try Samurai. Fuck. Now I can't remember the name of the game. Chat can help me out here. There's another game that's similar to this where it's 4-player local co-op.
Okay.
In kind of a deathmatch style called Samurai something or other. It's fantastic. Have you played Nidhogg?
I have only played briefly, but that's the one I want to spend some good time with here next.
Yeah, it's good. Samurai Gun. That's what it's called.
Oh, yes.
Fantastic.
Okay.
And it's weird how those are all coming back, and it makes me wish I had friends in real life that could play these games because they look to be a lot of fun. There's a game called The Yogg, which is really good.
I've heard of that one, yeah.
But it's not like a competitive thing. It's a weird D&D hybrid thing where it's just a text adventure that you play with friends. I don't know. I kept playing Watchdogs. I guess that's one thing that I have been playing.
Yeah.
You don't like that game, do you?
I'm not going back to it, JP. I played it at launch. I had fun because I played it with Jeff, but like I have thought about it, like should I pick it up? People have been asking, are you going to resume? And I'm just like, I can't bring myself to do it, man.
Did you play the online hacking in that?
I think I got hacked, and I think I hacked a couple people. I see. I heard that you were saying that it was quite good.
Oh man, I love it.
We love it
It's
just because
actually
you're like
become a
fucking
small.
with people or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually become like a small, like streaming circle around the multiplayer of that a lot of people are really into. I think it's fantastic to watch. It's like watching DayZ for a lot of people in like 4 minute bursts.
Gotcha.
Uh, because you're in like an open world type deal, and I think the hacking is a lot of fun. But I haven't like since Wildstar, I haven't really been playing much other than that. And I've been streaming it a lot. I think I've played like 8 or so hours a day, or streamed at least hours a day since last Friday. Uh, have you played anything else before we jump into Wildstar?
No, I mean I played a little bit of WildStar, so I'm really curious to hear what you have
Okay.
to say.
Well,
So,
what level did you get to?
oh,
You remember? Like 4 or 5?
no, higher than that.
Really?
Yeah. I think
A lot of game time for an MMO for you.
well, so when was it? It was like right before PAX.
Oh, that's right. I remember you streamed it. You played the beta or whatever.
Yeah,
Okay,
right. I played
I
the
remember
beta,
that.
and I want to say like I was 8 or 9, but that might have been maybe a 7 or 8.
Okay.
And
A
who
lot of
knows if during the beta they had any sort of accelerated shit was missed. So I don't know.
Sure. Uh, One of the things that I guess throughout streaming it is everyone asks like what my opinion is, and I tell people I'm only level 10. Like I don't have an opinion yet. This game just came out. I'm still figuring everything out. So I've told people that I never had opinion. I think I've leveled 2 characters now to level 22,
Oh, okay.
and one of them I also leveled to 10. But like it took me a while to find a class that I enjoyed, and I think that was directly related to the amount of fun that I was having in the game. Um, but I won't really have like a full opinion on the game till I'm 50 and like figured all that shit out, which will be a while just because of how leveling works in that game. But that's an MMO ass MMO, man. It's like it's as old school as it's like the early days of vanilla WoW is what it is how I relate it.
Right.
The combat is like really fast paced, at least for my playstyle. I'm enjoying that aspect of it. It's very movement oriented, which I'm
Right.
enjoying a lot, like getting out all the telegraphs and everything like that. Um, my biggest complaints, like it's very easy to talk about that game and how I'm enjoying it, but my biggest complaints about the game are pretty like crucial for a lot of people. Like I think the UI, the default UI in that game is
Really?
the worst default UI for an MMO in a long fucking time. It is so bad. The
Interesting.
text is like the worst fucking text that actually hurts to read. The quest, what is it? The quest tracker, like they tie numbers to all of the,
Yeah, I was not a fan of that as
and
well.
sometimes the numbers don't match up to what's on your minimap, and I have no idea how the fuck that's filtered. Like I don't understand anything about that. I'm trying to think of some other stuff. Like the UI just feels fucking like bad.
Now,
It does not look good.
doesn't it already have like modding capabilities? Like,
Yes,
haven't
it
I
is
already seen
heavily
some?
moddable,
Okay,
and I use
yeah.
a lot of mods, which is
Okay, yeah.
the saving grace of that. Because like at the same time, going back to World of Warcraft, like when that game first came out, the UI was fucking trash. It
Oh
was
yeah.
And so I'm hoping that like this is kind of the same thing, like that the UI was kind of an after or not an afterthought, but it was not something that they wanted to work on too much because they knew that the mod community would come through as they have. There are some pretty good mods out there for it, and eventually they'll just start like stealing that from people and throwing it into the main mod
Exactly.
and all that. So that's fine. And I understand that, but God, the fucking UI is just terrible for me. Um, the dungeons, I think, were the first thing that really made me enjoy that game. It sucks that it took me 20 levels to get there.
And in level 50's cap or
50 is cap, yeah.
okay.
And I
But
think
level 20 is when you can go and do your first
15,
player
you
dungeons.
get access to an adventure, which is like a choose your own path dungeon. It was kind of it was fuck. It was I would say it was pretty bad actually. Like we would die, and then we would spawn behind the area that the next part of the dungeon was in, and it would just like skip you past content. And so I was really weird at like the death.
Oh,
That I don't
that
know if
seems a
we were
little
just getting
weird.
lucky or what. And then the more you die in that, the less rewards you get at the end. And I don't know. It just seemed all around bad. But the first dungeon that I did, I tanked both of them. And that game's fucking the dungeons in that are no joke, dude. Like we wiped on a single boss for like an hour. And this is just like a normal dungeon.
Wow.
I know that Kungan, popular WoW player and streamer, was wiping on a veteran dungeon at level 50, 5-man dungeon for like 2 hours. Just like a normal dungeon at level 50, wiping on a single boss for 2.5 hours because of how difficult it is.
Wow.
It's really like the first days of WoW raiding.
That's pretty awesome, though. I think a lot of people have been looking for that again, haven't they?
It's tough. And like healing in that game, from my perspective of watching other healers, is like really fucking hard. It's all telegraphed base, and so like if your party moves out of your telegraph, they don't.
Oh.
And so like while your party's constantly having to like if you get hit by one of these telegraphs from a boss, it's a one shot.
Although that adds something, JP, that like has kind of been missing from raids, because there was always the ongoing joke that, your priests and your shaman just kind of sat there and
Yeah.
went like
And that's
this
the
a
thing
little
too,
bit.
like WoW dungeons right now are at a place where it's literally you're just face rolling through it. You're turning out. They had to put a cap on how many you could do in an hour. You can only do 5 dungeons max in an hour in WoW. Before, like, you can only reset it 5 times.
Right.
Because people were just doing them too fast. They were spamming dungeons and it was actually too quick.
Huh.
But Wildstar, like, man, the fucking it's difficult, man.
So
it's really rough.
I mean, you've recently played a lot of Archage, and you gave high accolades to that game.
Yeah.
Is this an
Arcade is a better game.
what's that?
I think Arcade is still a better game.
Okay, so Wildstar is sort of serving to be an intermediate step between.
For now.
Okay.
Like one thing that I need to like stress is that Arcade has been out in Korea for a year and a half. So while they say it's alpha at the moment, it's actually the
Right.
full game. It's just not localized. And that's one thing people got to remember with my comment of like it's a better game than Wildstar at the moment, because I think after 6 months or 9 months of like hammering away at the UI and like doing a bunch of small little tweaks, Wildstar has the potential to be really good. It already has a shit ton of stuff for a game that just came out in terms of end game, because like
Sure.
there's arenas, there's full-on battlegrounds for all the different game types you want, like CTF, land grab, et cetera, et cetera. There's something called war plots, which is like I don't know the specifics of it, but
I
it's
actually
basically
do.
design your own structures or
Yeah,
something like
I
that.
actually do. So during PAX, they unveiled war plots, and I hosted that segment. And
Yeah.
so it's kind of cool because instead of just having like the open areas where you're doing combat, you sort of have these headquarters or different areas that you set up for game types. And the way it works is depending on like what level your guild is or your team is or however that breaks down is like how many points you can spend to put towards your base. And you actually
On a per character basis.
on a per team basis, I believe.
Oh,
So
okay,
you
so
you enter
that's-
as like a team, and then your team,
That's right.
right? Like they have a calculation. So then you drop what you want, and it sounded really cool because the stuff that you made for the war plots was stuff that was all created by players in game. So, those guilds that would work together could potentially have a much stronger war plot than, say, just whatever, some randoms.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works in terms of balancing, but like watching it all play out and watching how you can activate the different stuff is really quite cool. And I
Yeah.
like how it's somewhat objective based because of that, because it's like, oh, you
Sure.
got to take this down if you want to take this,
I'm interested to see what that's like, actually getting my hands on it. The raid stuff at 50 is like, holy shit, the attunement quest for that is absolutely insane. It's like a 13-part attunement that involves like you have to kill 10 world bosses, you have to do every dungeon at a certain speed, you have to like kill hidden bosses. There's gigantic rep grinds where it's like 40,000 rep for 2 or 3 different factions and like just an immense amount of fucking requirements.
Yeah, that
to get
seems
it to
a
the
little
first
rough.
grade. It's all like very old school MMO stuff that's in there. And it really makes me wonder, like, I really am interested to see, first of all, how that game sells, and second of all, like, a percentage of those sales numbers on their max level. I bet you that 60, maybe even higher than that percent, don't level past level 10.
Really?
Because of how hard that game is. It is like, well, no, that's not true. They'll get to the first dungeon and they'll just be like, what the actual fuck? Like, I am so, it really comes down to, it's the age old rule of like, don't stand in the lava. And that's the entire experience. If you get hit by a telegraph in a dungeon, you are dead, no matter what. If you get hit by a mob in a dungeon, like as a tank, it was like 5 or 6 hits and I was dead without a heal. I could not tank at all. So I'm very interested to see like how many people stick around for that.
I mean, which is kind of crazy because the game itself markets Wildstar as an inviting game.
And it definitely is in terms of questing. That's the thing is like, it feels like that maybe I just don't know it yet, but maybe that game is welcoming to like quote unquote softcore players. Because I think once you hit 50, you actually unlock a soloable like epic quest line that spans the entire game over again that you can do all by yourself. And there are instances that you can solo. There are instances that have 3 people. So maybe I'm just like missing all of the stuff that's like quote unquote for the casuals.
Okay.
I don't know though. It's an interesting game.
Are you going to keep going? Like, is it?
Oh, I'm going to
keeping
hit
your
50
interest?
no matter what.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll hit 50. I guess class wise, I started out playing Esper, which is a so to break down the classes in the game for those unaware, there's 6 classes in the game. All 6 can DPS, 3 can heal, 3 can tank. And you really do that based on it comes down to the items you have, because you can change your quote unquote spec at any time. You only have a maximum of 8 abilities, and you could swap those out as long as you're not in combat. It does not cost you money. You just swap it and you drop it into your hotbar, and you're good to go. Start out with an Esper. It's the ranged DPS / healer hybrid. The healer class of that actually does not use all that many telegraphs. It's very like what you expect from a healer in MMOs, where you just click and heal. I think there are like maybe 1 or 2 telegraphs for it, but I was not a fan because it's the only class that is very immobile until like 18, and you can't move. All of your casts are just like channeled.
Long channels, yeah.
And it's really annoying. I was like, well, I don't want to fucking play a game that's like based on movement and just sit there the entire time. Plus, I was a Chua, and they're the fucking like little gerbil people of this game, which just not a fan. So I remade a Stalker, which is that was it's a lot of people call it like the rogue of Wildstar, but it's not really a rogue. It's the evade tank that uses like blades. It was all right. It has stealth. It's the only class of stealth in the game. Got to 22, and I don't know. Maybe it was
better
maybe
experience for you, or what?
It was definitely better than Esper. I enjoyed it a lot more so. But like one of the things with the combat in that game, which might turn a lot of people off, is in like World of Warcraft, when you select a mob, you are having like there is a like a graphical effect of you like actually hitting this mob, and like I don't know how to describe it. Like maybe meaty. There's a meatiness to it, or an actual semblance of some sort of action going on between the 2 units in game. In Wildstar, it's all just like you spamming the air with your telegraphs. So like you can attack the air. And there's no difference for me, at least with the Stalker, when it comes to like attacking the air and attacking a mob. It still feels like I'm attacking nothing. And so like the more I played of that, I was just not into it. So I rerolled Warrior then, which is the two-handed sword class in the game. There's no shield, at least like a normal sword and board. I'm having a lot more fun with that.
So that's your
The combat
third
feels a lot
character.
better. Third character, yeah.
Wow.
And that's
Okay.
23 right now.
It's
And
just
that's I'll be
crazy.
taking
It
that to
took
50.
you three,
Yeah.
three goes before you like,
It
okay.
I was a little bit tilted by that. Yeah, I've spent I think each of those characters is probably 15 or 16 hours in game, so I've played probably 35 plus hours of it since last Friday. And I've enjoyed it to varying degrees. One thing that they don't do a good job of that game is explaining the systems. Like, interrupting in that game is massive. And I had to learn through chat. I don't know if I just missed the
Oh.
tutorial or what, but in like dungeons, there is a shield, like a counter on a lot of these mobs, and it'll say like 2. So then you have to have 3 interrupts on that to actually stun or interrupt a mob. And this regenerates over time.
Yeah,
So
I'm
like,
trying to remember. I don't remember that at all.
yeah, so like after like if a mob starts a telegraph channel, if 3 people interrupt that with a spell, then it'll actually interrupt it, and for that duration of the channel, he'll actually take double damage, or maybe not double, maybe it's just more damage. I think it's double though.
Huh.
And like that's huge because if you right now the class that I'm playing with Warrior, I have 2 interrupts on my bar. And so like I'm just plowing through mobs because I actually understand that concept that if I stun them right when they're casting a channel, they're going to take double damage and it's just going to fucking destroy them. Um, and that was not like explained to me through the game. And I wish it was because it makes a whole fucking hell of a lot of difference when it
Interesting.
comes to soloing. It also like that game is very supportive of grouping while leveling. You actually get bonus XP to group.
Yeah, which is just like a ongoing trend, right?
It's
Like
just a good thing.
yeah.
It makes it more fun. I've soloed everything in that game, and I wish I was grouping with people to get that extra bonus. And it'd probably be a lot more fun too, because you could just zip through everything. Very grindy, very very grindy game. There's a fuck ton of quests in that game that you have to power through. I'm already feeling the grind right now at 24. Like levels are starting to get pretty slow.
Damn, dude. I have a feeling at like 36 that beard's gonna be
Yeah,
long.
it's gonna
Be
start
like,
to.
fuck, man. I'm
Yeah,
almost to 40, but then I assume that
people went
there's
through. People got 50
documentation.
pretty quick. Though.
Yeah, people have made it to 50, I have to imagine.
Oh yeah, they. I think people were 50 by like Tuesday, possibly. I think Tally hit 50 on Wednesday. I think maybe it was earlier than that. Um, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna keep playing it. We've got a guild up on Widow Dominion that me and of all people stripping. Like well, I was playing on launch night with Dodger, Jesse, Davis from Warp Zone, I think, and then Strippin. And I'd never met Strippin or Davis before, and I don't know. We just kept playing the game and we're enjoying it. So we got a
Nice,
guild up,
nice.
the 2 of us there. Anyone's welcome to join. We're just looking for people to hang out with, so we're having fun with it. I've got cats. It's my hologram for the guild. It's kind of weird. Like your emblems are holograms that project from your character, and so there's like cats on my shoulder.
Nice.
Kind of interesting.
Nice. Well,
It's pretty
that's
good though. I'm enjoying it.
No, I mean a lot of what you said is definitely just kind of how I felt. I personally like the art style. I was a big fan of it when it was releasing.
like
I know that a
I
lot of
don't.
people have been back and forth on it. Take it you're kind of indifferent.
I don't. There's times where I'm just like, man, this is a good looking game. It really feels good. And then there's times where I'm just like, this fucking looks so bad. Like, I'm very
Really?
torn on the graphics, yeah, on the art style. And I don't know what it is that I like and what it is that I don't like. It like it's very Pixar, I think, is what a lot of people have drawn comparisons to in terms of the art style. But it feels like a shitty Pixar. Like it's not quite there. It's missing like the gleam and glint that a Pixar animation has. But it still looks pretty good. I don't.
Yeah, I've always just been a big fan of like they the game doesn't take itself too seriously, where there's like certainly some attempts at humor and whatnot, and just kind of the craziness and how they've sort of represented the game while marketing it. I do
Sure.
like that aspect of it. I can't say I played enough to be like, dude, I'm so sick of this stuff, but
It's like that, at least from what I've played. That continues on through the game. Um, I don't know. I'm still enjoying it, but we'll see. Like I'm starting to feel that grind that I need another like boost of, hey, I'm really enjoying this already. But I'm gonna hit 50 regardless, just because I want to see what it's like.
Awesome. I can't wait to hear how it is when you do.
I'm like looking at these screenshots, like, man, I should probably play.
It will happen soon.
As far as MMO launches go,
God,
too,
some of
it's
these
actually
look
been pretty
fucking
good.
dope, dude. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just like a suck. I, I can't, I can't quite put my, I know what you're saying about the Pixar thing, but it has a really cool, almost comic-y look
does,
to it.
yeah.
That's why I think I like it so much.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, like, I just look at this picture right here, this one with the two red swords.
Yeah.
I'm like, that shit looks dope. Yeah.
That's why I like
that's
the
what
Warrior
it is.
too, because like the weapons, like the two-handed sword is the only weapon you can use, and they all look fucking massive and gigantic like that. And I'm enjoying that.
That must be
yeah.
very comic-y, for sure.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
It is. So I'll have more to report in the future. Hopefully by next week, while all these people are, yourself included, going to be at E3, I can be chipping away at the XP bar. Be 50 by next week. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, I mean, speaking of, I suppose we should just start going into it, and then we can take a break. Maybe before we actually hop into everything that we know and all this stuff, we just talk about how everyone was like, "Yo, 2013 E3, biggest shit ever," and I mean, it kind of was, and that was because of the release of the new consoles. But what happened was everyone was so excited, yeah, the yada, yada, yada. We had all of the release of the consoles. But then we realized that we all got duped because there's no games to play on them. And what was going to come out, of course, Watchdogs, the big hot shit, then only just came out now. So I feel like there is a lot of hype in 2014 because now we are going to see obviously what is going to be on these systems. But at the same time, JP, I'm seeing this trend that like E3 2014 is really just E3 preview to 2015.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing a lot of. A lot of these games are coming out in 2015. But I mean, I kind of expected that. Like, I'm trying to think of the big releases for 2014, and none are actually coming to my mind.
I mean,
what's like
we've had quite a few. Dark Souls.
Right. But like for the rest of the year, like what are the? I'm not excited for any one title in particular. Destiny, I guess, that comes out. That's still 2014, right? Did that get pushed back?
No,
I don't know if that got pushed back.
I think. Well, we're gonna find out in a week. That's for sure.
Yeah, Witcher 3 got pushed back to 2015. That's now February. They got a release date a day or two ago, I think.
Let's see. Let me jump to like November here.
Chat's saying Destiny's in 2014. Dragon Age Inquisition. I didn't know that was 2014. 4.
Yeah, right. Fallout 4. My ass. That won't be. Dragon Age. Yeah, Inquisition. Sonic
Destiny
Boom.
is less than 100 days away. That seems kind of crazy.
Watchdogs Wii U.
Yeah, that got announced for fall, or I guess confirmed for fall.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. We actually are looking at some pretty
grim
shit over the next.
And maybe that's what we'll see. Like, a lot of the stuff that has already been shown is 2015. So hopefully people are just getting that out of the way. But we were talking about at the start of the show, like, there's like all of these big games already have shit announced and trailers out. It's like, what, like,
yeah, what's the secret?
What is going to be at E3?
Right. So actually, we should probably talk about some of the stuff that is, that has already come out. Witcher 3, they already showed their trailer.
Trailer was awesome. Fantastic trailer.
Unbelievable. Sad that it is a year away.
Yeah, super hyped for that though. Just through the trailer,
Kingdom
Hearts. A lot
Hearts.
of people lost their shit.
Kingdom Hearts HD 2.5 remix. We saw.
Looks fantastic. I got a little bit nostalgic about that game. I loved the second Kingdom Hearts. I never played the first one, and I hated playing the first one because of how archaic it was. Second one though, I still remember to this day on on Thanksgiving buying a PS2 for that game when I was 15 or 16 and like sitting through that game in a week. Loved the shit out of it. Saw it in HD. I was just like, I should probably play that game.
So with the good news of that trailer comes the bad news that there will not be Kingdom Hearts 3, which I think people were kind of up in the air. It sounds like
they're not
either
showing
Tokyo,
it at all at E3.
Nope, not showing it at all. But more surprising to me, JP,
E3.
nope, they're not showing it at E3. More surprising to me is that there's no Final Fantasy 15, and I just like.
I saw that too. Yeah,
they're apparently showing something new. Not
really?
Final Fantasy, yes, but and I do believe we will see the new Tomb Raider as well, which technically Square Enix. But Final Fantasy 15, like after what we've seen and what this game has gone through, and here named this and now named that, like I'm really shocked, and I don't know if they're looking for a Tokyo Game Show hit for that, but I don't even know if the Tokyo Game Show is as big of a.
It's not even it doesn't matter anymore for the Western audience, so that's kind of interesting for them to save something for that. They might just not have anything to show. I mean, that game for the longest time, for like 2.5 years, was just not a thing. Like it was nowhere. It was never shown. Versus was just thought of to be dead, and then they just renamed it into Final Fantasy 15. So. I don't know. I guess I'm cool with that. I would have expected them to show something at the
me too.
53, but guess not.
We also got the Oddworld New and Tasty trailer.
Didn't watch it. Not a big Oddworld fan. Did you watch it?
I watched it. I'm also not a big Oddworld fan, with the exception of God, what was it called? Wayward Stranger. What the hell was it? The one where it was an FPS in the Oddworld series.
I didn't even know that.
It was great. It was a fantastic game. Someone will correct me on it. But this is kind of, it's weird to me because I never really attached to the Oddworld universe the way that a lot of people did.
That's like a beloved franchise.
Right. And so a lot of people are actually freaking out over this, JP, because it's not just an HD remix, but it is a reboot of the franchise, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it is the movies rebooting Spider-Man or rebooting Superman. Like that's what it looks like to me. They added a bunch of stuff. It's all in 3D. Of course, if you guys remember, Abe's Odyssey at the time was like this really high-res sprite art. And it looks like they've, just 3D-ized everything. It looks pretty cool, but I just never was big on that type of gameplay. So I don't know what they're going to do to the game to appeal to the audience that liked the original gameplay and those that just, it wasn't into it. Because it's kind of like a platforming puzzle game.
Yeah. Yeah, I was never a big fan of it. Maybe the reboot will sell me on it. Maybe I'll get hyped for it. Is that a next gen game?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else has come out trailer wise? There was Kingdom Hearts, Witcher 3, which we gushed about. What else is there? I feel like I've watched some other stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking through right now because there was a couple other things and I still don't know why they are allowing or getting this stuff out. Oh, Forza Horizon 2.
God, I was really not upset, but like, fucking 1080p 30, really? Like, give me fucking 60 FPS already.
But it doesn't matter.
I loved Forza Horizon 1. I thought that was like a perfect blend of arcade and simulation. I thought one of the big selling points on it was also the music in that game was fantastic just to drive around to. Fuck, man, give me 1080p 60.
Monster Hunter 4? Is this what? Is this system?
Yeah, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. Like, Capcom loves its Ultimates.
Oh, so this one's already been released. Oh.
I don't think it's been released in the US. Yeah, I don't think it's been released in the US. I don't think so, at least. Looks interesting, I guess. I'd rather play something on...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Mortal Kombat X.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I forgot about that.
I think is just CG.
Like, what are they doing? It's so weird that they're like... That came out like Tuesday. It's like so far away. I've already forgotten about it. They're gonna have more at the show. They said. I think announcing characters. That trailer was really weird, though.
I hope, JP. I hope that the trend this year is that we're announcing our trailers so we can show you gameplay at E3.
I'm hoping so too, yeah.
Right? Because if they get these opportunities like, do we show our trailer? Do we show some gameplay? I think the gamers are going to respond to the gameplay a lot more.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we always do. That trailer in particular, though, like, music choice was kind of weird. I think it was Wiz Khalifa, but, like,
yeah,
it just didn't. It felt really weird. It like didn't fit the game. I don't know. Maybe like Wiz Khalifa is a player or a character in that game, which would be even weirder. CG looked fantastic.
Yeah,
I don't think that was in-game stuff. I'm pretty sure it was all CG. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's all CG, like. Dude. I think that was all CG. Yeah, for sure.
Scorpion did not say get over here. That's true.
He did at the end, didn't he? At the very end.
Did he?
Yeah.
Someone in chat was saying that's why I read that was a direct line from the chat.
Oh, I thought he did at the very end. See, they probably were like, "Fuck this CG trailer" and like cut it off, and then that was the hook at the end. I thought.
Maybe.
I remember.
What else is out there? Dead Rising 3 got announced for the PC, which I guess is kind of cool. That was kind of a bad game for me. Yeah.
We knew it was happening.
Who was? I think Dan Giesling, wasn't he a big fan of Dead Rising 3?
Yeah, he was.
He'll be excited for that.
He was.
Or he probably already beat on the Xbox One, so maybe he's not excited.
Probably excited for the Last of Us remake too. For
yeah,
PS4, right?
He's super stoked for that. Metal Gear Solid 4: The Phantom Pain had a PS4 sneak peek.
They had some gameplay video released of that.
Yeah, I guess that's.
Oh, the new Lord of the Rings. Yeah. They did release that too. Oh, Dan's in the chat. I hate you guys.
Dan's there.
Well, we love you, Dan.
Love you, Dan. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I thought that there was more stuff already out there.
Well, I mean, we have to include like Halo 5, which they announced like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I guess the Division has a hype trailer out for 2014.
Yeah, get hype for 2015.
I bet you that's going to be another game too that has the Watchdog look to it. Like, talk about that. That's been a game that probably even more so than Watchdog has been defined as like the next gen feel, and it's that fucking door gif. It's like the guy walking by the door and he like slowly shuts it. Like that is ingrained in like next gen people's heads. I don't think it's going to look that good. If it does, then holy shit, but it's not. There's no way. A lot of rumors right now about Mario, or sorry, is it Mario Maker? Is that what it was?
What?
Yeah, Mario Maker rumor discussion thread. It's basically a lot of people are thinking it's like build your own Mario levels. It's published by Nintendo. There was a picture that was released. I can link it to you real quick.
Oh, I see it right now.
Yeah,
but
leaked.
it looks like it's.
It doesn't look Nintendo, right? It looks kind of third party. I don't know. Maybe I mean that's kind of dumb because it's.
Hold on, I've got the leak screenshot here. Let me bring this up. Okay, so yeah, but it looks like old levels. Which,
yeah,
when you said that, I was thinking, oh my god, like creating Super Mario 3D levels.
Not even that. Like if it's
also,
new Super Mario 3D, it would look cool.
There is no fucking way. I can't believe that they're already setting their booth up on Friday.
This was actually leaked yesterday.
So on Thursday.
You don't think booths are already being made? When does the show open? Tuesday?
Tuesday. You know what? Actually, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about like more of a PAX. Maybe. That seems really early. And it also like they're usually not this far along if they start that early.
You guys aren't building your booth yet? I would think that they would.
I don't think it starts until tomorrow or maybe Saturday.
Wow. That's
or maybe today or Saturday.
That's shitty for people that have to build booths.
I mean, Nintendo's booth is fucking huge at E3, right? So it wouldn't. But usually, on like a day one of a booth setup, you do not look like this. I don't know. But where would this have come from otherwise? That's the thing.
Yeah.
That looks like the LA Convention Center.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. But yeah, I think that's all the stuff that has been like soft announced. So we could take a break and then come back.
We'll start on day 0, which is going to be Monday, the day of press conferences. And then we'll go through and what we know, and I'll bring up the Twitch schedule as well, because there's actually
you guys released
yes, and I learned about quite a bit about some of the titles that will be there, and maybe even speculate about some of the titles that are just generically written in there. But yeah, let's take a break. When we come back, more E3 news coming at you here for our final hour. Don't go away. We'll be right back.